It may be preliminary, but I would like to say Antifa is finding out. Portland anti-ICE militant charged with assault of federal agent could face 8 years in prison if convicted. Yairin Anzaldua Irvin, 29, of Gervais, has been accused of throwing a large object at a federal agent, striking the officer in the chest with force while trespassing on federal property. Oh boy, look at this guy. Look at this here guy. He does not appear to be at all happy. He's finding out, as it were. Let me just stress this, you guys. I don't understand why we ever tolerated far left extremists throwing bricks at cops. It's an honest question. It's almost like broken. Are you guys familiar with broken windows policy and policing? Some criticize it, but the general idea is this. You're walking down the street, you see a building, it's got a bunch of broken windows. So nobody really takes it seriously. Someone throws a brick, breaks another window. Garbage is on the ground. The general idea is that if you make sure none of the windows break, you arrest the person when the first window breaks, you stop the rest from happening. And I don't think it's untrue. I think it's largely true. I mean, it's not perfect, but think about it with garbage as well. You go into an area, there's just garbage everywhere, litter everywhere. I've watched this. It's funny. You go into an area of like LA and there's just trash everywhere. Someone will just throw their wrapper on the ground because they're like, what's the difference? The snowflake doesn't blame itself for the avalanche. But you go to an area that's really nice, like Beverly Hills, nobody will throw anything on the ground. They'll look around for a garbage bin and be like, I can't do that, right? We should have been arresting these people a long time ago, but I guess Democrats don't want to do it. Tell them, this is the norm. You commit a crime, you go to jail. The DOJ has charged a leftist rioter with assault on a federal officer stemming from a Saturday riot outside ICE in Portland, Oregon. Anzaldua Irvin has been accused of throwing a large object, as we read. The defendant was arraigned in the U.S. District Court in Oregon on Monday and has been charged with a felony offense of assaulting an officer, a crime punishable by up to 8 years in federal prison. I know people are going to get mad. I don't think he should get 8 years. It is a felony. I'd say, well, okay, right now, assuming no prior offenses, first offense, you give him 1 year. I don't want to do what we got to be careful about creating radicals. You know what I mean? I think a year, you know what I mean? He'll probably take a plea bargain down to a lesser charge, maybe get a few months. So it looks like this is the video in question. I believe this may be the guy who's getting arrested. I don't know what these people are thinking. They're insane. But you know it's only going to get worse, and that's what terrifies me. This guy just threw a brick at these cops. Gets arrested, and now he may go to prison. Do you think this will stop them? I hear these conservatives all the time say, lock them up, teach them a lesson. Do what you want. Do what you think is necessary. You guys tell me in the comment section below what you think we should do. But I'm going to tell you this. It is going to get worse and escalate because the left is not going to stop. They will be radicalized by this. I'm not blaming the police or saying there's anything we can do about it. What I'm saying is a guy throws a brick, goes to prison. Some left is going to be like, don't use a brick. Use something that won't get you arrested. And they're going to come out with guns. Already happened in Chicago. ICE attacked twice in one day. They say, according to the FBI affidavit, this dude had trespassed on federal property and defied several lawful orders to vacate. When federal agents mobilized to clear unlawful demonstrators from the driveway, the defendant allegedly threw a water bottle, described as large and heavy, at the chest of an officer. Anzaldua Irvin was subsequently arrested and taken into custody. Video surveillance footage submitted in court documents appear to show the defendant committing the allegations. Bro, you can't give a guy 8 years in prison for throwing a water bottle. And if, like, seriously, dudes, by all means, comment, tell me what you think, like I said. But if we can't function that way. Now, I can put it this way. Maybe your attitude is don't know, don't care, full bore instantly. And that is lock every one of them up. I think that will create a potential risk scenario. You want to scatter. You want to divide and conquer. If you take all of these people and just give them max penalty, you are concentrating them. You are giving them a cause. You have to be very careful. Divide and conquer is the way to do it. Let me tell you about how the Chinese do it. Famously, the Chinese captors in various wars were smarter than to try and torture Americans. What they would do is they'd say, do you want to eat? Tell me something you don't like about America. And the Americans would be like, what? What? And they'd be like, say one thing, anything. Criticize. Come on, your country's not perfect, right? Well, these guys wanted to eat, and at first, many of them would be like, no, get out of here. I ain't saying nothing. They wouldn't eat. They get hungry, and they say, all we're saying is there's something you can say, right? And so some guy would be like, we got a lot of homeless people. There you go. Hands them the food. Next day, they come in. You want to eat? Tell me something you don't like about America. We got a lot of homeless people. No, you told me that already. Healthcare is expensive. Okay, here you go. They would do that over and over and over again until finally they'd have Americans writing an essay about the horrors of the American government, and they'd say, see, look what the Americans think about their country. Intelligence. It was studied and found that the best way to deal with radicals was to actually be nice. Yeah, kid you not. And a lot of people don't want to because they're emotional, but me, I want to win. So what American intelligence would do, and this was brilliant, when they would capture people, they'd first put them in a scary situation where it's like you could maybe get tortured or whatever. And then one guy would come in and be like, get the cuffs off this guy. Just look, what do you want to eat? Okay, you're here. What do you want to do? Play chess, watch TV, you want to pray, whatever it is you want to do. The American interrogators, instead of torturing, started being very nice, saying, tell me what you want to eat, we'll see what we can do. But you got to do it within reason. So these guys would be like, I want, a delicious filet mignon steak or whatever. And they'd be like, come on, I can't get that. But if you want pizza or something, we'll get you. And they'd get them good food. And they'd say, we'll get you a nice comfy chair. We'll make sure your cell is very nice. You want to go out, work out, and whatever you need, brother. By being nice, the way they were able to extract information was not through torture and manipulation. It was through the guy, like, why are you being nice to me? It's because, and the guy'd say, because it serves, we don't need you. There's no purpose being served by torturing. You don't have anything we want. They'd say, oh, so, we try to be as nice as we can to our captives. Could be an enemy soldier. And then he'd say, while they're sitting there eating, he'd be like, you eat stuff like this quite a bit, or I don't know if you eat pizza or whatever. The guy would then be like, no, actually, we don't have pizza where I come from. We eat a lot of cabbage. And then they'd say, really? You get cabbage from the store or whatever? Begins the light conversation. And before this dude realizes it, he's giving up so much information that is beneficial to our side. And that was always the play. Positive reward, positive environment. And you'd extract information the dude did not realize was compromising the enemy. We learned, and we have studies on this, that's how you actually win this. So what I say about this guy, you know what you do? He gets arrested. DHS guy should come in and be like, look, man. While you're being held, what do you want to eat? We're going to be nice. And he's going to be like, you can eat what you want to eat, brother. And he's gonna be nice to him and say, I wish you just didn't get so angry and throw stuff at us. Nobody here hates you or anything like that. You want to make this guy, you want to sow doubt. The concern is if you say, lock him up, worst of the worst, they will be permanently radicalized. And that might feel good, sure. But this is a guy who threw a water bottle. Imagine if when he gets out, imagine there's a guy in the U.S. Attorney's office who says something like, look, these DHS guys are pissed. You attacked them, right? I just think you're some kid who got caught up in the heat of the moment, and I don't want your life ruined over this. How can I make this easier for you? His lawyer's going to tell him, like, hey, they're being really nice. They're being really forgiving. You're really lucky you got this attorney, you got this prosecutor. The prosecutor says, I can't get you off completely because the police won't allow me to do it. But I can get you a plea down to a month. And he's gonna be like, wow. And then he's going to leave with a little bit of doubt. And that's the intelligence play. Sometimes it may seem counterintuitive, but you want to manipulate these people. They are manipulated already. You want them to leave being like, that dude wasn't so bad. He was actually really nice to me. And you make them think twice about joining these extremist groups. Now, to be fair, intelligence also goes the other way and intentionally radicalizes people for false flag purposes and to stage these things. But basically what I'm saying to all of you right now is that I would argue the play is you want to de-radicalize. And how do you do that? Psychological manipulation on these whack jobs. See how this guy right now, we got him in this picture and he's like bent over, hands behind his back. That's a humiliating position. His emotional state right now is, I knew it. These guys have been bad guys the whole time. So now what you got to do is you got to sow doubt. Then when he gets out, he'll start to question the things he's been told. People are going to be like, you got to go and get revenge. And he'll be like, I don't know, man, that guy was really nice. Humanize. Sit down with him, talk to him about family and sports. Try to create rapport. Make him feel guilt. Then when he gets out, he's going to be like, I don't want to do this ever again. This is crazy. Make him feel emotional pain. Psychological manipulation, social engineering. You throw this guy away for 8 years, it's going to radicalize a bunch of people around him. They're going to use him as an image and say, look what they've done. You need to get this guy to actually speak on your behalf. That's the long-term intelligence play. But who am I? What do I know? All I can really say is this. He found out. We'll find out what the police do with him. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show. Stay tuned. More to come, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, come hang out in a couple hours. I'm playing poker at the lodge with a bunch of pros who are probably going to rip me to shreds at the poker table. We'll see what I can do. Oh, man. 5-10 game, heart rate monitors. People can see my heart. I told Doug Polk the other day, I was like, bro, there's nothing I can do about it. If I get a premium, my heart's going to go up to 180. And I'm thinking, for a lot of these pros, it's so mundane because they play so often. Their heart rate probably won't fluctuate as much because they're just going to be like, another day, another aces. And for me, I'm going to be like, it's going to be fun. All right, everybody, stay tuned. More to come. I'll see you on the next segment.